What role did black and white women play in Reconstruction? Imagine a time when the nation was trying to rebuild itself after a devastating war. Women, both black and white, stepped into roles that changed history. During Reconstruction, their contributions were vital, yet very different. Black women fought for their freedom and rights, organizing civic groups like civic improvement leagues. They pushed for education, voting rights, and social reforms despite facing violence and discrimination. Many black women attended polls with male relatives or helped oversee ballots, even though the 15th Amendment only gave voting rights to black men. Their activism aimed to secure full emancipation and fight racism and sexism at the same time. They also worked to improve their communities by establishing schools and advocating for better living conditions. Their efforts kept the hope of equality alive during a tough period. White women's roles varied depending on where they lived and their beliefs. In the North, white women often supported Reconstruction by working with the Freedmen's Bureau, teaching freed enslaved people, and helping with aid programs. In the South, white women often wanted to restore the old social order. They formed groups like the Ladies' Memorial Associations, which later became the United Daughters of the Confederacy. These groups promoted the Lost Cause narrative, which glorified the Confederacy and its leaders. Many white women's activism was rooted in maintaining white supremacy, and they did not always support black women's efforts. White women's push for suffrage was often limited by race, with leaders like Susan B. Anthony advocating for white women's voting rights first. Their actions reflected a desire to keep existing racial hierarchies in place. Both black and white women played roles in expanding education during Reconstruction. Black women's activism focused on community empowerment and civil rights, working to build schools and support black families. White women's efforts often aimed to reinforce existing racial divisions, even as they promoted educational opportunities. Despite these differences, women of all races contributed to shaping the future of America during this transformative time. Black women's activism was driven by a desire for justice and equality, facing violence and resistance but never giving up. White women's roles ranged from helping rebuild communities in the North to defending the Confederate memory in the South. This era marked a time when women's voices grew louder, even as racial divisions created different paths for black and white women. Their stories show how women's efforts, in many ways, laid the groundwork for future social and political change.